Hi everybody, this is Donna with Donna Berry Arts. I'm here today to share with you another Crafty Christmas in July 24 project. This is sponsored by Sweet Pea Papers, and it's running July 1st through July 31st. And this year, the fourth annual year, by the way, we have 25 collaborators. That means there's 25 creators who are making junk journal or any kind of crafty Christmas item that you can make and using our tutorials. That means we're going to do one every week. There's 4 weeks. That's about 100 videos, and I'm betting that a bunch of people do more than 4. So this is going to be just a wealth of tutorials and information and great ideas. Give you a step up on Christmas because it's in July. You're going to be way ahead of the game. We're going to do a drawing on August 1st, and it's going to be based on posting pics at Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group and the Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group. So if you want to enter that drawing, get your pictures out there. We also have, in addition to 25 collaborators, very, very generous designers who make kits, and they've done Christmas kits and they've allowed us to use them. You will find the collaborators' information as well as the designers' information in the description box below. And you'll be able to go to their Etsy shop or their website or anywhere that they're selling these products, these kits, and you will be able to use them if you like what you see on the videos this year. They're beautiful papers. They're some amazing creators, and I just wanted to give them a big thank you. To enter the drawing this year, you need to post your Christmas projects and use the hashtag Crafty Christmas in July 24 in Sweet Pea Papers, as well as the Junk Journal Tutorials and More. Those are 2 Facebook groups. Each post is 1 entry, and you can post in both groups at the same time and double your chances. So we wish you luck. We hope you like all the projects that people have come up with. There's some really amazing creators out there, and I hope you're having fun with our Christmas in July by the time you see this. So, my project today is called a Christmas planner accordion file. This is the materials you're going to need. I'm not going to read everything here, but the biggest thing here is the lunch sacks, the craft cardstock, decorative scrapbook or cardstock, which is typically thinner, which is why I'm using the 2. You want to give this piece some really good strength. There's a mini folder template. It's a freebie out at Jules Designs on YouTube. I will post that below in the description box as well, so you can get right to that video if you want to figure out how to make these mini folders that I'll show you here in a second. And then we're going to have to do a little bit of text, and we're going to talk a little bit about text. You're going to need a brad, a mini circle, twine, mini circle being a closure, scoring board, scissors, glue stick, etc. So first, before I get to the actual instructions, which is what I'm going to use to get through this, because I'm not the greatest videographer, I'm going to show you what I made. This is a Christmas planner. And I'm going to start off first with a caveat. This is my paper, but if you use anybody's paper, any designer, any kit, anything that is copyrighted, you cannot type text on it. You have to use stamps or stickers or a separate piece, like a tag or anything else. So just want you to know, the caveat right there is do not put text on someone else's design. It is a copyright violation. This is my paper. I designed it, so I'm just letting you know I can do it. So anyway, we're going to open up this planner, and here's what it is. It is an accordion, and it has 12 pockets, one for each month of the year. And the reason it's a planner is you get a little folder. I talked about the mini folder and the basic instructions or materials needed. And you're going to make these little folders. The folders are going to be for cash. So each month you put a little bit of cash in here. And by the time you get to the end of the year, you're going to pull that cash out and you're going to go, wow, I'm ahead of the game. I have, you know, let's just say $600. Let's say you put 50 in and it's less, you know, it's half. It's, you know, you put what you want in there. Maybe some months are better than other months. The idea is to save some money aside for Christmas and to plan. The other thing in here is a little journaling card. In here, you're going to write down maybe things like something you bought this month that you already have and you've got it in your Santa's bag hidden away in the closet. Or maybe ideas for what you would like to get certain people and you've seen it somewhere and you'll want to remember it. So you can go through this in November and December and say, oh, I remember that. I wanted that for so-and-so. So that's basically the gist of this. I've just done every month. One thing I did that was a little bit different is I didn't necessarily stick to Christmas pictures on months that weren't Christmassy. So like for May, it's kind of springy. I think June is a rose. July is fireworks. You get the idea. Then you get to November and you have this cute little guy, this little turkey. In December, of course, you get back to like a Christmassy picture. January and February are kind of like snowy pictures. So that is the Christmas planner. That is my idea for a crafty Christmas project. And we're going to get right to it here. And I'll show you how I made this. So first of all, I want to have you take a second and screenshot this if you want. I'll give you a minute or so to do that. You can't put these in the description box. I mean, I could, but it would be super long. So you can't like do a PDF or any kind of file in there. So if you do need them, you can reach me at Donna Berry on Facebook, Messenger if you need it, and I can always send it to you. So now we're going to get to the instructions. And first, I'm just going to let you take a look at it. I'm going to let you take a snapshot. And this is what we're going to use to go through making this. That's going to help me because I'm not, as I said, the best videographer. I think this is my 4th or 5th video ever. So maybe more, but not many. And then here's page 2. Those are the little the craft mini file folders and the journaling cards. Text, we talked about text. It talks about caveats and warnings about text. And then the closure. And I think many of you may or may not have done this kind of closure before. It's just a brad and I have a couple of circles glued together to make this really stiff. This is really solid, just so you know. Because you're putting money in there and you're putting, you know, a lot of stuff in there and you want to keep it closed and keep it solid. So first thing we need, I'm going to keep this handy because I tried this video once and I messed it up. So I'm hoping not to do that. I was only going to do 4 pockets, but I'm going to go ahead and do all 12 because I am going to make another one for someone else. So actually I should have probably brought over my my knife or my cutter, but I'm going to cut all of these bags, sorry for my head, right where the bag bottom ends. Hopefully that went through, and it did not. So we're going to do, sadly, one at a time. Almost went through. Almost. So it's pretty easy. You're just going to take these bags. They're lunch sacks. I used white because it's Christmas. You could use the brown ones. It really doesn't matter what you use. You know, it just depends on how you want it to look. If you want it to look a little more vintagey, maybe brown sacks are your thing. So, you know, again, anything in this video is completely up to you and can be changed and can be remeasured and rethought out and, you know, planned a little bit differently. Really, the idea behind this is to show you mostly an idea. Something that maybe you'd never made before. Something you never thought of before. Just something new, something different. So that's what I was hoping for when I made this. That's my plan. I get that wire right there. Sorry if my head is in the way. Just really want to see that well. Okay. Not being agreeable here. And this one's a little bit short, but that's okay. We'll be fine. Okay, there we go. So we are going to go ahead and do 12 of these. And the other thing I don't have today is Fabri-Tac. Sadly, sorry, I just cannot see that wire. So we're going to have to get by with Scotch Permanent glue stick, which will be all right. You know, we'll be fine. This is something I can go back and add glue to if I need to, or basically just hope for the best. So here's what we're going to do. We've got ourselves 12 bags, and we're going to be folding them and gluing them like this, right down the middle. So if you can see that, here's a bag, goes around this bag, which goes around this bag. So we're really just going to take these and move this out of the way now. We don't need it any longer. And fold these in half. You could use a bone folder if you wanted. You don't have to. And just keep folding them and folding them. And we're going to glue them right down the middle so that they make what's called an accordion. And today we're going to go again. Oh, you know what? I don't need 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't need all of these. I only need 6. You know why? Because every bag nets 2. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, this is only 2 bags. So 5, 6 is, let me just do my math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I brought too many bags, but that's okay. 9, 10. I'm a little short. Let's skip him. 9, 10. Oh, he's a little short too. And 12. So technically what we have here is a nice big bundle. We could trim this. I'm not going to take the time to trim it. I'm just going to kind of squish it up around in here, make sure they're fairly even. Get them as close as we can. And so what I'm going to do with each of these is glue right down the middle. Just really quick, and I just go right down the middle and glue these 2 together. And then I'm going to glue these 2 together. And you just want to get it right in the middle. And again, you see how you're making an accordion? Just keep going until everything is glued. This is the middle of this one. I'm going to keep making sure that I get this, that they stay kind of in place. I want my edges to be the same. Sorry for my inky fingers. Been very busy today. And the reason, as you know, we're doing 6 bags or 12 pockets is for 12 months. You know, you could do something smaller. You could do quarterly and have 4 smaller ones. Let's make sure we're all glued. We're not glued on this side. Getting there. Almost. Okay, I didn't want to have you guys to have to watch all this, but I had decided at the last minute to change it from just showing you 4, just going ahead and making this a full 12 pocket. So 1, 2, 3. Gotta watch those little cutouts. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we have these and we're ready to go. Now I did do some other pre-work, so sorry if that was painful, but we got our bags and we're ready to go. So I did a little pre-work so we didn't have to do so much cutting and distressing and all that kind of thing. And what you're going to do next is you're going to take your craft cut your craft paper down to, I didn't mark this one, I should have, I'm sorry, 5 1/4 by 11. And then you're going to score this at 4, 4 3/8, 8, and 8 3/8. Distress all your edges. And then you're going to cut this piece, which is the one that's going to go on the outer side of this. Again, this is to give this a lot of strength. You're going to cut the decorative scrapbook cardstock to 5 so that you have a little edge versus 5 1/4, and 10 3/4 versus 11. And then you're going to score this one a little bit differently. It's at 3 7/8, 4 1/4, 7 7/8, and 8 1/4. And again, distress your edges. And use your bone folder to make sure you get them all, you know, really solid. And then we're going to glue this. Now this looks like it's upside down, but it's not. This is the bottom and this is the flap. And one thing we're going to do, and make sure, because this is going to look a little funny, but we're leaving a little bit of a poof in here. So I want to make sure that I get this first, make sure it's correct, make sure I'm on my score, and we're going to glue this. Again, I was going to do a whole bunch of pre-work, but I wanted to at least do, you know, some things with you on the video so you could kind of get a feel for how did she get there? How did that happen? And then you want a little wiggle room here, so you want to get this on here. Like that. And I'm going to go like this and like this and move it over just a little. You just want a little of that craft paper showing, just so it has a little edge. It gives it a little bit more vintage look also, and it also strengthens this whole piece. So we're going to keep going here. And we're just going to give it a little more glue on that fold. Keep gluing and gluing and gluing. Get those folds right. You have a little extra down here. You could trim this if you want. I don't mind it myself. It also means you could cut your 11-inch just like an 1/8 of an inch shorter, but it seems to be trivial to me to be an 1/8 off or different. So I think it looks nice. I think it's fine. So here we have our folder. Okay, we distressed our edges, and then I round punched these corners. You don't have to, and you could do the others as well. You don't have to do that either. Just up to you. Again, everything here is a choice. I believe in choices. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do, as you can see, is just make sure my folds are good. I got a little bit of distress there. Stress, I should say. Sometimes papers are long grain versus short grain, and they don't always work great. My goal here is to glue these bags into here. Now, I would technically, I would use Fabri-Tac, and since I don't have any on hand, I'm actually not going to glue this in. But I think I can show you the rest of this without gluing it in. But this goes in here and you glue it, and then this will fold over like this. It's pretty simple. It's not a hard project. You know, you just want to make sure everything's glued well, it lines up, it's how you want it to look. This is my paper. Remember when you're doing it too, the mistake I made, and I might have to put something on here, but the mistake I made the first time was, oh, the paper goes right up, and I went this way and it was upside down by the time I closed it. So make sure your score marks will help you know where to glue it. So that should be pretty much the way to do it. And then you're going to end up doing file folders next. And those are on Jules Design website, or YouTube, I'm sorry. And these are them. And they're just the cutest things I think I've ever seen. So again, I just did 4 because originally I was thinking about doing 4. But she just has a template. It's a freebie. Go out there and get it because it makes it so much easier. And we're gonna you just cut them out. They're 6 inches. You cut them out at the 3-inch and cut out 1 for each pocket. So there'd be 12 of these. Distress them and then create a journal card. Again, you just measure this. This is going to be simply 3 by, let's just get the ruler to just give you, I didn't put that on there, but, oops, sorry. This is 3 by like 4.5. So you really just, this way you have your folder and your journal card. You can also make fronts for the folders, which I did in mine. And then you can also put lines on the back. You can put any, this is September for Labor Day. You could put Christmas on every single one of them, which would probably look cuter, but, it works for me. So, again, and you're just going to put them in the accordion. You're going to put the folder in the back and a little journal card in the front. And for each month, you've got that. You've got a folder and a journal card. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the text for this. I used Canva. You can use Word. You can use anything you want. You could spell out the whole, the full spelling. A little bit of this is trial and error because you have to figure out your fonts and your sizes. But I did figure out mine. And then what I did was I took a folder and I just drew around each of these, so that you could glue it on them and it would look all right. And then I just stressed them before I glued it, so in case there was any little lines. And you just glue your months on so that you have one for each one of these. You also, while you're in there, since you don't want to waste paper, is you might want to just go ahead and create some kind of Christmas sentiment or Christmas planner or whatever you're going to use to put on here. Again, this is not putting text on the paper. This is putting like a little tag or a piece of ephemera or another little thing on here. So it doesn't count. And you put this on here. You can have it say Christmas budget. You can have it say anything you want. This size will vary depending upon the decorations of your paper, how big you want it, etc. That's pretty much that part. This is pretty simple, as you can see. It seems like it wouldn't be, but it really is. Now, closure. Everybody knows how to make a closure. You take a couple pieces of cardstock. I put 3 together to make it really stiff. You find the center here. You find your center here, just like I did here. And you poke your hole. I use an awl You can use anything that's sharp enough that will put the hole through it. Just don't poke through here, you know, just open it up and find it. And then you're going to put it on here. And the next thing you're going to do is add twine or ribbon or string of some sort and tie it down. The one thing I wish I had done was actually make my twine just a little bit longer, which it's no reason I can't cut this and do that, because you figure over time this might get a little chunkier, so you're going to want to really just tighten it down. So, you know, it's nothing like you can flatten money and you know, there's nothing else in there you're going to flatten. So that's really this is it. This is the whole thing. And it's a Christmas planner. It's something I actually made because I have a friend who does not plan well for Christmas. And on Christmas Eve every year, she says, I don't have anything for anybody. I don't know how she comes up with gifts, but she always does. And I thought this would be great for her to put some cash aside, put some ideas down, and put down things that she bought. So I do hope you enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too rushed. I just didn't think it was all that complicated and I didn't want to take up a ton of time distressing and cutting and doing too many other things that I think most people can pretty much figure out on their own. Oh, the one last thing I didn't tell you was I did distress this with some red distress ink. You can do that when you first put them together. You can do it after. I did it after. That is it. So I wish you a very Merry Christmas in July. And please, please visit all of the collaborators' videos, all of the designers' Etsy and websites, and go take a look at what's out there because it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. Thank you so much.